What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're talking about Sony, the PlayStation 5, Naughty Dog, The Last of Us Part 2, and why there seems to be a pattern of behavior at Sony of silencing fans, not wanting fan feedback. What is going on? The entire situation with the PlayStation 5 has not really worked out too well for them up to this point. That's not to say that the PlayStation 5 won't be a fantastic video game system, but up to this point, the optics involved with the marketing campaign and the information that Sony has been trying to get out to the fans has not really landed well. Then you add the situation with Naughty Dog and The Last of Us Part 2, and that makes the situation even more complicated. Now today, here we are with Sony and PlayStation releasing a new animation opening for PlayStation Studios, and they suddenly have turned off comments and likes and dislikes on the video. Now, I'm sure there's some good reasoning behind it, but before we talk further about that, you have to look at the rest of their channel, and I've clicked on at least 5 or 6 of their previous videos. All of these videos, you are able to comment, you are able to like, you are able to dislike, you are able to share your opinion on all of these other videos. Yet when you get to their new PlayStation Studios opening animation, there is no likes and no dislikes, and you cannot comment, and I don't understand why. Now, we're going to watch this clip, but I'm not going to play the audio. So here's the clip right here, and it's pretty obvious what it is reminiscent of. It looks like Marvel Studios. There's no doubt about that. And a lot of people have been saying, okay, is that why they are not interested in hearing feedback? Because they don't want people telling them how much they've ripped off Marvel Studios. I don't really understand that. Ultimately, that is just part of the internet and part of being a big creator, a big company. You're going to have people criticize you. I went, and this is the first place I found that posted it, and then our Geeks and Gamers account actually retweeted this. So I looked at it, and the comments aren't really overly negative here. I mean, people seem to like it. There's a few people doing the when you copy Marvel Studios homework and change it a little bit. That's a joke. That's a thing that happens on the internet. That is internet culture. That is meme culture. But most people seem to at least enjoy it. You know what I mean? I don't have a big problem with it. Does it remind me of Marvel Studios? Yes, absolutely. But to hit the likes and the dislikes and turn them off, and to turn comments off and not give the people ability to speak when you clearly are giving them the ability to speak on all of your other videos, it makes me wonder what is going on. Why are you picking and choosing what people can and can't comment on based on what you want them to say? I guess they felt like the feedback was going to be negative, so they just decided to silence people completely. Not a good move. Now, again, in isolation, probably not the biggest deal in the world, but when you start looking at the pattern of behavior that seems to be going on, then you add the situation with the PlayStation 5 and how they have failed to capitalize off of their huge fan base, because the PlayStation 4 has a mega fan base, over 100 million systems sold, and I'm wondering, is PlayStation getting into that Nintendo mentality that Nintendo went through a few years ago when the Wii was the biggest selling system and the Wii sold over 100 million copies, and Nintendo seemed to get a little arrogant with the Wii U, thinking that people were just going to automatically buy the Wii U no matter what they did, and ultimately the Wii U failed miserably because Nintendo seemed to be a little too high on themselves. Is Sony going through something similar? Maybe. Because right now, all of the momentum that they had with the PlayStation 4, it doesn't seem like they're trying to capitalize off of it. They are silencing fans. The Last of Us Part 2 is a complete and total disaster. It is a PR nightmare. All of the videos and the release details of the PlayStation 5 have fallen flat on the community right now. So I'm very worried about what the next phase for Sony and the PlayStation 5 will be. Ultimately, I do believe it's going to be a great system. I do believe it will be somewhat successful, but as we have seen when the Xbox 360 had what, in my opinion, dominated that entire generation, the sales were kind of close. Ultimately, I feel like the 360 had more of the gamers' in mind with that entire generation, and more gamers were playing the 360, but because of the situation with the E3 presentation and the lack of games for the Xbox One, suddenly they lost all of their momentum, and the Xbox One has never really recovered from all of that. That system is DOA, and it's been DOA for a long time. If Sony doesn't watch it, they're going to find themselves in a similar position. Stop silencing your fans. Stop turning likes and dislikes off on videos because you don't want to hear criticism. Stop trying to silence people, and stop false flagging YouTubers for having opinions on the Naughty Dog and The Last of Us Part 2 situation. These things right here are going to have a lasting impact on you if you don't get it right. So that's my thoughts on it right now. Very, very interesting. And why did, like, it is very Marvel-esque. That logo is very Marvel Studios-esque. I don't know if maybe they released it and then they started getting feedback. I mean, and someone can tell me, I mean, the video's been up for 6 hours. So did they initially release it with likes and dislikes on and were comments on, and did they turn them off because there was an overwhelming amount of criticism? Or did they just release it without having any comments on? Because that'll make the story a little bit more interesting if they actually uploaded it with likes and dislikes on and comments on, because the criticism started pouring in, they turned them off. That would be absolutely hilarious, but I would need to get some good maybe screen recordings or screenshots to prove that's the case. That would be hilarious. Ultimately, PlayStation, get your shit together, man. This is not good. None of this is good for you. This is a crucial point in time right now for your system, for your brand, and for your player base. And you're not doing a good job from an optics perspective at all right now. And I really think that you guys need to take a hard look at your strategy and how you're treating fans and how you're handling criticism and how you're delivering the information of your PlayStation 5 to your community. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Raylos are weird. Fuck Naughty Dog. And we will talk to you later.